Listen, if you're thinking about buying a home in Fort Lauderdale in 2026, I want you to hear this before you start scrolling through homes online. The biggest mistake buyers make is starting with the house. You might think that sounds crazy because you want to look at beautiful homes, but in Fort Lauderdale, buying the right way means understanding the full picture before you fall in love with the property. I'm talking about your real monthly payment, your insurance costs, property taxes, HOA fees, inspection, neighborhood fit, and negotiation strategy. Because the price you see online is not always the price you actually live with. So in this video, I'm going to break down how to buy a home in Fort Lauderdale the right way in 2026, especially if you want to avoid overpaying, but make a smart long-term decision. My name is Benson Paul. I help home buyers make smart real estate moves in Fort Lauderdale and surrounding areas. Let's get into it. The first step to buying a home in Fort Lauderdale the right way in 2026 is not to scroll endlessly looking at homes. It's not to randomly walk into open houses, and it's not guessing what you can afford. The first step should be meeting with your real estate agent for a buyer's consultation. Here's why. A good real estate agent is not just there to open doors. A good real estate agent helps you build a strategy before you start making emotional decisions. Because buying a home in Fort Lauderdale is not just about finding a nice house. It's about choosing the right property in the right area at the right monthly payment with the right long-term plan. In that first meeting, your agent should help you get it clear on your real goal. Are you buying your first home? Are you relocating to Fort Lauderdale? Are you tired of renting? Are you buying for lifestyle, or are you buying because you want more space? Are you looking for a single family home, a condo, townhouse, or new construction? And how long do you realistically plan to stay in the home? Those questions matter because the right strategy depends on the real reasons you are buying. A buyer who plans to stay for 3 years may need a different strategy than a buyer who plans to stay for 10 years. A buyer looking for a condo near the beach may need a different strategy than a buyer looking for a single family home in a quiet neighborhood. And a buyer who wants lifestyle may think differently than a buyer who is focused on long-term resale value. That first meeting, also where your agent should help you understand the local market. Fort Lauderdale is not a one-size-fits-all market. Buying near Las Olas is different from buying in Victoria Park. Buying near the beach is different from buying further west. Buying a condo is different from buying a single-family home. And buying in Fort Lauderdale may look different from buying in the city of Sunrise, Plantation, Hollywood, or Coral Springs. Two homes can have the same price online, but completely different monthly costs. For example, insurance and HOA fees can vary by location. That is why you need guidance before you start falling in love with homes. A good agent should help you understand what is realistic in your budget before you waste time chasing properties that do not match your budget. The next step is not seeing homes. The next step is understanding what you can comfortably afford every month. Most buyers think about the mortgage payment, but in South Florida, the mortgage is only one part of the full cost. You need to calculate the principal, interest, your property taxes, HOA fees, how much you'll spend on utilities, and the type of insurance you'll need for your home. Plus money set aside for any changes that you might want to make to the home. This is where buyers get in trouble. They search for homes based on price, but they do not search based on real ownership costs. A $600,000 home in one area may have a different monthly payment than a $600 house in another area because insurance, taxes, HOA fee will vary by location. This step is to speak with a lender and get a real pre-approval, not just a quick online estimate. Not just, I think I can afford this. You want the lender to show you estimated monthly payment at different purchase price. For example, what does a monthly payment look like at $500,000? What does a $650,000 payment look like? Then you ask yourself one honest question. Can I live comfortably with this payment? Because buying the house is one thing. Keeping the house without being stressed every month is the real goal. Once you understand your budget, the next step is choosing the right area. Fort Lauderdale is not one simple market. A home in Victoria Park is not the same as a home in Imperial Point. A property near Las Olas Boulevard is not the same lifestyle as a property in Sunrise, Plantation, Hollywood, or Coral Springs. Two homes might share a Fort Lauderdale address online, but deliver entirely different living experiences. One may be closer to the beach with one house, then get more space with another house. One property provides a better drive to work. One may have a lower insurance risk. This home may have better access to restaurants, nightlife, boating, parks, or schools. This is why I tell buyers not to only focus on how many bedrooms and price, You may need to shop by lifestyle. Ask yourself, how far do you want to be from work? Do I care more about beach access or a bigger lot? Do I want a newer home, or am I comfortable updating an older one? Do I want a single family home, townhouse, condo, or new construction? Do I want to be near highway? Is walkability more important to me? How many parking spaces do you need? Do I want quiet suburban living or active city life? All this matters because buying the wrong home in the right city still creates regret. The goal is not just to buy in Fort Lauderdale. The goal is to buy the right property in the right area for the right lifestyle at the right monthly payment. Next, understand property taxes before you make an offer. This is something that catches a lot of buyers off guard. Do not simply look at sellers' current property taxes and assume that that will be your tax bill. This is a dangerous mistake. In Florida, the current owner may have homestead exemption. They may have owned the home for years, so their assessed value may be much lower than the home you're buying today. So if you're calculating your future payment using the seller's current tax bill, you could be underestimating the real cost. This is especially important in Broward County because the difference can impact your budgeting. Before making an offer, you want to estimate what your property taxes may look like after the purchase. Your lender and Broward County property appraisers can provide the information you need. Once you purchase the home and it becomes your primary residence, you should also understand homestead exemption and how it may help protect you moving forward. But the key point is the seller's tax bill is history. Your tax bill is what matters. Next, we'll discuss insurance. Fort Lauderdale is a beautiful city. Beaches, boating, waterfront neighborhoods, and great entertainment. That lifestyle is part of what makes the area desirable. But it also means buyers need to be smart. Will the lender require a certain type of insurance? How old is the roof? Does the home have impact windows or shutters? Which inspection reports will you need? What could the insurance premium look like? A home could look great online, but once insurance is factored in, the monthly payment can change quickly. This is why a serious buyer should get insurance quotes as soon as you receive the reports necessary for the insurance quote, because insurance is included in your monthly mortgage payment. It can affect your final approval and your comfort level with your mortgage payment. The next step. Do not treat condos like a single-family home. Another major point, condos are different. A lot of buyers are looking at condos because the purchase price can seem affordable compared to a single-family home. But the price is not the whole story. When you buy a condo, you're just buying the unit. You're buying into the building. That means you need to review the monthly HOA fee and what you get with that fee. The association budget. Does the association budget have reserve? Insurance, special assessment, building repairs, rules, rental restriction, parking spaces, the type of financing the building takes, and the overall financial health of the building. A condo with a lower purchase price but a high HOA fee and upcoming assessment may not be as affordable as it looks. You want to know what major work has been done, what work is planned, and whether the association has enough money set aside. So if you are considering a condo in Fort Lauderdale, do not just ask, do I like the unit? Ask, is this building financially healthy? That is the question that protects you. Next step. Once you find a property you like, the next step is writing the offer. This is where buyers can either make a smart move or overpay emotionally. You want to look at the data. What have similar homes sold for? How long has this property been on the market? Has there been a price reduction? What condition is in the home? How does it compare to other active listings? What is the real cost after insurance and taxes? Your offer should be based on the full picture, not just how badly you want the house. Sometimes the right move is a strong offer, or maybe negotiating, or maybe just walking away. A good deal is not just getting the home, it's about getting the right home on the terms that make sense. Use the inspection period the right way. After your offer is accepted, the inspection period becomes extremely important. You want to inspect the roof, HVAC, electrical, plumbing, appliances, drainage, windows, doors. Check for any signs of moisture and anything else that could become expensive later. If it's a waterfront property, you may also need to look at seawall, the dock, boat lift, or drainage. If it's a pool home, you might need to inspect the pool and the equipment for the pool. The inspection is not about being difficult, it's about making sure you understand what you're buying. After an inspection, you may decide to move forward, renegotiate, request repairs, request credit, or cancel if the issues are too serious. The inspection period is your protection. Use it wisely. Finally, let's bring it all together. The right way to buy a home in Fort Lauderdale in 2026 is not to chase the previous house online. The right way is to understand your full monthly payment. Choose the right area, Check property taxes, price insurance as soon as possible, understand HOA or condo risk, write offers based on data, and review inspection reports. That is how you protect yourself and buy with confidence. If you are thinking about buying a home in Fort Lauderdale or anywhere in South Florida, reach out to me. I can help you build a smart buying plan before you start making offers. My name is Benson Paul, and when it comes to real estate, I want you to experience it all. See you in the next video.